I have a problem.
Oh?
I use Gmail as an email, like my primary personal email storage.
Right. Yes.
And I don't know if everyone, but I have 15 gigabytes free.
Me too. Yep.
Of like stuff. I don't know, emails. And I guess it's my entire Google account, but I have 15 gigabytes for free. And I'm at like 90% full.
Wow.
And I don't know what to do because I really don't want to pay for it because I feel like I pay Google enough by not caring about my privacy at all. So that's my payment, is that I don't like limit
I pay
them
you in email content.
Yeah, I pay them in exposure to me. But I don't want to pay for it. So like I need to I really like Google's Photos stuff.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think I have a couple. I don't know how much storage is taken by that. But do you have this problem? Do you use an email service, and are you anywhere near its cap?
I use Gmail. And I have a couple of Gmail like email addresses, and I don't know if their storage is shared or separate. But on at least one of my Google, accounts or whatever, you can click in the top right corner of the Gmail web interface on your little picture or whatever, and then it shows you like what your percentage is and what your usage is. If you click on that, it shows you like a breakdown. Mine is about 5 gigs out of 15 used on this particular account. And of that, I'm looking at the breakdown. 2-ish gigs is Google Drive, 2-ish gigs is Google Photos, and 1 gig is
Google Drive.
Gmail.
Yeah, I forgot about Google Drive.
Yeah. How they get you.
I cannot find where you're talking about. I'm looking through here right now. So I'm in Gmail. I logged into Gmail. Then what?
Yeah. In the top right corner, there's like a little like picture of you or like your account thingy.
Oh, and then I see 82%. Yep. Okay. So I'm not quite at 90, but I'm at 82. Oh, no, it's 5 gigabytes of Gmail and 7.5 gigabytes of photos. I could download those and archive probably most of them. And it's so little because we're talking about like $10 a year for 100 gigabytes. We're talking about money.
It's $2 a month. So it's a little, it's like $25 a year.
Okay. Sorry. For the first 2 months, it's 50 cents.
Right.
But like it's $24 a year. I pay way more than that. Or you could save annually and do $18 a year for 100 gigabytes. And I would never have this problem the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to pay that because I feel like they get $18 worth of value, at least from my data. It's a matter of principle.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. I applaud them for giving an annual discount. I love things that give annual discounts. But I'm not paying them either. So that's that.
Yeah, it looks like they do the standard pay for 10 months, get 2 months free kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it just takes the monthly and multiplies it by 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Now that you've showed me where to do, I will go maybe trim my photos a little bit and hold off this problem for another 10 years. 5 gigabytes of Gmail is actually a lot.
There's a button where you can just say like reduce storage, and it shows you like large files in your Google Drive and like large photos and videos that you can just review.
Yeah. I wonder, I don't know. I have 38 megabytes in my trash, 10 megabytes in my spam. Large videos and photos are 4 gigabytes, and emails with large attachments is 2 gigabytes.
You get a lot of big emails.
Yeah. None of my movies or photos are actually super large. Like the biggest one I have is 83 megabytes, which is like a long video.
Oh wow! My biggest is like 300, but I only have like 2 of them because I only put things in Google Photos when you make me.
See, these don't. Okay, here's the problem here. Ready? You go in and you say, I would like to reduce my storage. And then it says, hey, you have 2 gigabytes worth of emails with large attachments. And I click review. And then you can filter your emails for smaller than 10 megabytes, 10 megabytes to 20 megabytes, or 20 larger than 20 megabytes. So I've done that, larger than 20 megabytes. But then you can't sort them. So I can't say, show me the largest email I have.
Oh, weird.
Which is annoying, and I feel like it's intentionally an
Opaque.
anti-pattern. Yeah. Anyway,
I just found from this exercise a 700 megabyte zip file of PNA 11 bonus episode that I'm going to delete from my Google Drive because I have it in other places.
Yeah, you don't need that there.
This was a very good exercise to save me almost a gigabyte of Google Drive space.
I will plug Microsoft here. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I very rarely say good value things about Microsoft because their stuff is very expensive. But we have a family Office 365 plan for my family that 5 computers and 5 mobile devices get Microsoft Office, a personal subscription of Microsoft Office 365. And as a family, we get 1 terabyte of OneDrive for like $130 a year, which I think is an excellent deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite reasonable. Like it's a very good deal in storage, and cloud storage should be getting cheaper, like just in general. And it doesn't feel like it has been.
No, it does not. And I agree. It should be. Okay, well, crisis averted for another 5 years. See you on episode like 250 or 300 where we have this crisis again.
Welcome back to Pride and Accomplishment. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jason. This is episode 137. I have some follow-up for you.
Okay.
Probably in an area you didn't expect. But I have some follow-up. I think this is 3 episodes in a row now. We have been talking about Elgato and Stream Decks. But I am talking to you through a Stream Deck Plus.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
I decided, I think it was on sale or something. I got it for $170 instead of $200 on Amazon.
Oh, I like that.
And I've been playing with it a little bit, and I got rid of my little MIDI board, and it's set up. And now I have 2 Stream Decks. I have my Stream Deck, the larger one. I don't know what it's called.
XL, like
and
the
then
big,
the Stream
big
Deck
one?
Plus. No, it's not the big one. It's the 5x3.
Okay.
And then the Stream Deck Plus, which has the knobs and the display and 8 buttons, 2x4. And I will say the buttons are significantly bigger. It does look brighter. And the knobs are great. The screen is great. The Wavelink software, which we talked about, that you need the Stream Deck Plus in order to use the Wavelink software, was a little buggy and is a little finicky, but overall, I like it better than Voicemeeter. So
interesting.
I think it does a better job of like setting up channels and setting up things to send sound to. It's much more straightforward. I will also say though, it is more limiting in what you can do. I used to be able to output to like 3 or 4 different sources to like build output channels that I can send to other places.
Right.
Now I can only do 2. I can only do like the Stream Deck Plus or Wavelink. I don't know. I don't remember the Stream. I think it's called, I don't know. Yeah. I can only do like the main one and the stream one. Like it's set up as a stream. So I'm talking to you right now from my microphone going into the Wavelink software, coming out on what would be my stream output.
Oh, okay.
So that I don't hear it.
Huh. Okay.
But thumbs up, actually. Very cool. And if I had an XLR mic, this would be a perfect setup.
Did you get the little XLR interface for the Stream Deck Plus?
I didn't because I have a USB mic, so it would not do anything for me. But now I have basically no excuse for my next microphone to not be XLR.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean XLR mics, they're good. I have both XLR and USB microphones, and I use the XLR one every day. So
I think it just opens up the options a little bit wider.
It does. Well, that's exciting. I'm interested to see what else you figure out to do with it, because I think those knobs are really like useful or potentially useful.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured them out yet. However, I will say I'm in love with my Keychron keyboards, and I'm still using a Logitech keyboard here. One of the main reasons I'm using a Logitech keyboard is because of the macro keys on the left. That's not an excuse anymore. Like I have 15 plus 8 macro buttons plus 4 dials in front of me now. I don't need macro buttons on my keyboard. So I'm probably going to move towards a Keychron keyboard for my personal gaming computer here soon.
But you're still in the low profile camp?
I am definitely in the low profile camp.
Yeah, weird. Okay. I will ask one question about the Stream Deck Plus. Does it match the like physical like angle and height and stuff of the regular Stream Deck?
The height? No. It is about... The Stream Deck is about 2/3 the height.
Okay. But like if you put them next to each other, does it make like are they the same angle? Does it make a flat angled surface?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That would be really frustrating.
They are both angled at the same degree, yes. I will take a picture and put it in our Discord. Yeah, so it'll be in there. You can see it there.
Along the same lines of Stream Deck adjacent equipment stuff, Logitech has actually come out with a thing in the last week or so called the MX Creative Console. And this is like it looks like a Stream Deck competitor, but they're marketing it as like a Photoshop, like a professional thing, like a creative, like I'm a creative professional and I need a tool to do my job. Then they show a bunch of examples of using all of the different Adobe software, like Photoshop and Premiere and Lightroom. It's a combination of a little 3x3 Stream Deck looking thing with physical page buttons, like physical left-right page buttons, and a knob, like a big knob to be able to manipulate stuff, which is kind of cool, but I have absolutely no use for it.
That's my thing, is like these are so cool, but I have no use for it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad such a thing exists, but it is just, for what I do, there's no point.
I have seen people try to like say that, oh, these would be so good for coding and like refactoring and like all that. No, it's just a giant scroll bar, or it's just a giant scroll wheel for like code, but it's not worth it. This is so cool. I love this. I love this kind of stuff. I like these kinds of tools and these kinds of things. I find, at least from what I see, that they fail very often because there's not enough. I mean, changing someone's workflow and how they work their computer is extremely difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like a macro pad like this would take a large commitment for someone to be like, I'm committing to this to change how I interact with Photoshop. Because so much, I mean, imagine you like me telling you like change the way you interact with like Visual Studio, right? Like the barrier to actually have you adopt something would be very high.
No, that's true. Yeah, I wonder if it's different though for stuff that has such like high burden of keyboard commands and such. Like there's the thing that they're showing is like you can have little buttons that have all the tools of Photoshop, like with little pictures of what they all do. Like I wonder if you did that a lot, like rather than mousing over to the little left hand bar thingy. I know there's all keyboard hotkeys for this stuff, but like I don't know, maybe there's an opportunity you could kind of get your shortcuts in there and get it all figured out. But either way, it's not going to be for me, and take it from me, the king of expensive scroll wheels. I don't need this expensive scroll wheel.
How much is it? I didn't even look.
It's $200 for the 2 pieces.
Okay.
Which is not atrocious. And the scroll wheel is Bluetooth. Like it's wireless.
I was going to ask, it's wireless, so then you have to charge it, so it's going to die when you need it most?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it takes batteries. I don't know.
We're back on our corded debate. Okay, well, don't get this. Get a Stream Deck Plus instead.
Oh, I'm certainly not going to get this Logitech thing, and I'm probably not going to get a Stream Deck Plus anytime soon. But it's cool that you have one, and I'm a little bit jealous, and I'm curious to see if it can do all the things. We can talk later, but I would be interested to see. I know you're now friendship ended with Voicemeeter, but like, can you control the Voicemeeter stuff using the little knobs on the Stream Deck Plus?
I'm 85% sure you can, but we can do some experimenting afterwards.
Jason, I went on a trip lately, like the last couple of weeks. I was on a work trip, And I don't know if everyone realizes what that means, but I think I've got a trend now, and it means that I bought a new game to take with me on my Steam Deck.
That is what it means. I didn't realize that direction you're going, but you're right. You always look for a game to take, and we've talked about that before, and I totally forgot about that. And so what'd you get this time? What was the game of this trip?
Yeah, so shortly before I left on this trip, there was a sale for, I don't remember what the theme of the sale was on Steam, but one way or the other, I ended up buying Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which is the Vampire Survivor clone thing of Deep Rock Galactic, for like
I've seen this
$6.
Wow, yeah. No, I've seen this game. I have almost bought it before. I did. It's still in early access, or it released?
I believe it went 1.0.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter because it's complete enough in its current form that, like, I think I probably put like 10 hours into it on this trip just because I, didn't have much else to do. And it is like, just like Vampire Survivors, it's the perfect Steam Deck game, like perfect handheld, like small form factor, small screen, like
sure.
game.
There's no choices. You just move the character, right?
Exactly. And it's really easy. Like both sticks control the characters. Like it's just very conducive to the handheld experience.
It's only $10 full price.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good deal. It is still in early access, but like you said, it probably doesn't matter.
For something like this, it's like, sure, I guess they have a roadmap and they've got like more content, and the content's going to be cool. Like they have an endless mode coming and stuff like that. But I guess I didn't really think of those things as like, is this game in early access? Because it's polished enough. Like it has all of its assets. It has, it's not buggy. It works just fine. And it doesn't feel like it's missing stuff, if you know what I mean. Like it feels like there's enough like grindy content, and this is the kind of game where it's like, oh, one more run, I can do better next time.
Yeah.
Let me get this thing. And they've got like goals and like achievements and stuff that you can like work towards, and they've got enough of those that I couldn't tell that it was early access.
Okay.
Like there's not a bunch of like grayed out menu items that say coming soon. Like it's very much like full enough of a full featured game that it's fine.
So how far did you get in 10 hours?
I went through all 4 of the biomes that they have like in the first level. I think I've completed all of them on the first like difficulty, and then I did 3 of the 4 on the second difficulty, and a couple of like challenge modes. They have like weapon challenges which can permanently power up the weapons as like a meta thing.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, I mean it's like I said, it's pretty deep. Like there's enough stuff to do that you don't feel like it's early access. But yeah, I went through a few of the weapon things. I mean, there's a lot of weapons in this game. And I'm still like unlocking some more of them as I go. And I'm surprised every time I do. I'm like, oh, another weapon. Wow, cool.
Can you swap weapons mid-run?
You start with a single weapon, like based on the way that you kind of set up your character, like loadout. The characters, there's 4 characters. And depending on, you can choose, each one of them has 3 unlockable like modes essentially, and that chooses what your starting weapon is. And then from there you can pick up other weapons, and you have a maximum of 4 weapons per run basically. And then the weapons level up as you, just like Vampire Survivors, the weapons level up as you grow essentially.
You don't choose to shoot or anything though. You're not like holding the trigger or it's all just movement, right?
Correct, except that there are a couple of details where like one weapon only shoots behind you, like it's a little like gun, and it's on the miner guy, so he like is supposed to be mining rock, and it shoots basically the things chasing him, which is tricky. Like that's a little bit weird. There's another one that like shoots the closest enemy, but then it has one of its like meta power upgrade, not meta, but like one of its in run like super upgrades is to change its targeting from like closest to like highest health. So there are some strategy things where you can pick and be like, oh, I want this to focus on highest health because I have this other gun that focuses on physically closest.
Okay.
So it feels like there's a little bit of strategy to it. I mean, it's not like deep, but it is. I mean, it's Deep Rock Galactic, but it's not like, very strategic. I mean, whatever. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. I mean, I gotcha. There's strategy to your choices.
Sure, but like you're not playing like a 4-hour Civ game. Like it's very self-contained.
Yeah. It's a roguelike.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's a roguelike.
That's how they work. Yeah. Are you, now that you're done with your trip, is this a play more now that you're home? Wait until the next trip? What's the status of this game now?
I think this one falls in the like really good Steam Deck game, and it's going to stay on the Steam Deck. I did install it on my like desktop just because I was like, oh, that's fun, but I haven't like tried it on the desktop yet. I think it's one of those things that's maybe better left in handheld mode.
Okay.
For me, at least. I mean, I don't know. You could play it with keyboard and mouse. Like, that's certainly an option. But you would just be WASDing your way around. So I would probably always play this with a controller.
Did you listen to this one, or do you play silently still?
No, I listened to this one a little bit. Like, I in some cases would. But then oftentimes I would actually put on, like, a TV show. Because it is that kind of game. Like, there's no story to it, right? There's no, like, I don't know, intense or interesting dialogue. There's kind of a short list of audio cues that your little dwarf says. So once you kind of have played it with audio for like half an hour to an hour, you're kind of done. And then you can play without sound.
Oh, God, I don't get this. I don't get it. I mean, I'm glad it works for you. I'm glad. But I don't get it. Do you even know what's happening on the TV show? Like, can you?
In some cases, yeah. I don't know. It depends.
I tried this the other day. And I'm going to get in a little bit of trouble for this, but for saying this. But I was watching 21 and 22 Jump Street on Netflix.
Okay.
With my girlfriend, and I was playing World of Warcraft at the same time. I was gathering in World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I'm just gathering in World of Warcraft, and I missed entire scenes of that movie because I'm focused on one thing, and then therefore do not realize that the second piece of media is happening. I don't get how you. So I had to turn World of Warcraft off. I was like, I'm clearly I'm choosing to watch a movie here, or I'm choosing to play World of Warcraft because both is not happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I have the ability to treat a TV show as a radio drama if need be, like if I want to.
But that does, like, your focus on your game doesn't overpower your brain to say block everything else out.
I mean, only when it gets really stressful or difficult. Like gathering in WoW would not bother me. But like, you know, if it's a really like intense, like playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, like if there's a whole bunch of enemies and I'm like trying to really, you know, have to figure stuff out and be a little creative, like then maybe I'll miss some stuff and I can either pause the game and go back in the show or just say I wasn't really paying that much attention to the show anyway. It's fine. So, I mean, it just depends. It depends on the show. It depends on the thing. And sometimes I'll like, oh, I want to pause the game and go back 10 seconds in the show and watch whatever that thing was because it sounded important. Or there hasn't been much dialogue in, you know, 45 seconds. Let me see what they're panning the camera across that they think I'm supposed to be paying attention to. Sometimes happens. But like in this case, it was a little bit weird because I had shows and stuff on an iPad. Like if I am sitting at my computer and I have my 3 screens and I have a show usually on the left one and then a game in the middle one, like then I can just like look over and it's fine. But in this case, it was a little bit of a different, you know, setup because of the iPad versus the Steam Deck.
Your skill amazes me, Chris. Well, while you were playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I was finishing Astrobot.
Ooh, very nice.
I'm very sorry that you could not play Astrobot while you were away. But I did not wait for you. I am proud to say 300 of 300 bots. And I played it in phases, like in segments. I played one world at a time, and then when I finished a world, I put it down, and I came back to it either the next day or the next weekend. And I have to say, I'm pretty sure this is the first single player game that I have completed in years.
Wow. Okay. And it's a 3D platformer, which who saw that coming?
and not only did I complete it, like you can complete the game with not a full 300 bots like discovered. You can complete it with like, I think it's like 260 is the minimum. I have a full 300. I've found every bot on every level. I 100%ed every level. Now, I didn't platinum trophy it, and I don't think I care to platinum trophy it because there's a lot of achievements that I don't care about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just like certain, like do things a certain way or do, you know, whatever. I could do them but I don't care enough. I have 2 more goals in the game, but I won't share them because they're spoilers. And I'm maybe going to do them in 2 weekends when I'm home for a little bit. But it was just, I'm here to say we went into this game kind of with glowing reviews, knowing it was great, knowing we liked Astro's Playroom. And then we started it and both of us were just like, it's great. It's amazing. It's awesome. And then I went into it and I played it for long, like it's a long game, especially if you're 100%ing every level. Right. And I started to really drag near the end. Like I started to slow down and I was really, really worried that all of the work to truly like 100% it, not platinum trophy it, but 100% the game, wasn't going to pay off. I was like, man, oh man, yeah, I'm thinking through this. Like the story's really not that complicated. There's not a whole lot going on here. Like it's such a simple game. I was like, how much can the end of the game really pay off? And I'm here to say, boy, was I wrong. Because the end of the game pays off. It pays off so well. The last part of it, like, again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but like the last part of it is just so fun and so good and wraps it up and pays off in such a big and cool way. I'm so happy that I finished it.
Huh. Good. Well, I'm glad that it was fun. I am like, I don't know, maybe a third of the way through it. I think I have maybe 100 bots, maybe. So I have a little bit of a ways to go, but I am looking forward to getting back into it. I just have to find some time. We'll see when that comes. I don't know.
Take it slow. Do it over time. There's no rush. But I urge you to finish it the same way that you urged me to finish God of War.
Yeah, and look how that's going.
I know. Speaking of God of War, we read an article, or we saw an article. I forget. Maybe you didn't show it to me. Maybe someone else said something. No, I think it was you.
I think we talked about this on the last show.
Yeah, where like someone said that Astrobot like show or like the variety of PS5 content within Astrobot shows how the PS5 has not had a whole lot of like first party releases. Is that something you shared, right?
Yeah, it was basically that the celebration of the past of PlayStation was a reminder that there hasn't been a lot in the current generation of PlayStation.
Yeah. I will say some of the things that they celebrated in Astrobot from the current generation did fall a little flat on me. But when it shines, it shines. There were some parts of it where like it's so incredibly like awe-inspiring of like weirdly, right? It's just this cute little stupid game. It's just a little Astrobot. But like when they deliver on the franchises of games that the PS5 has had, it's just so good. It's so cool, and it's just I love the way they do it. I love the way that they're doing it. And there were I was reminded of that article a lot because when there were valleys, they fell flat. They were just like, I don't know what this game is. This is really what they went with. Like, this is what they had to show. And then when you come and see the other side of it, right? Like the huge references to big AAA games, you're just like, okay, this is amazing.
Well, I have seen 2 of those big things at the end of the games, I think, or at the end of the worlds. And so far, so good. So I'm looking forward to the others. And I have some hopes for what I'm hoping to see in terms of IP and franchises and such. But I don't know. I'm not going to spoil them, but I'm hopeful. So excited.
Okay. All right. I'm excited for you to experience them too. We may do a spoiler review at some point, maybe.
Yeah, we got to wait for me to finish it.
We're talking around spoilers so much, so maybe when you finish it, let's do like a spoiler review.
Okay, yeah, sure. After that, at that point, it will have been out for a little while. So,
yeah, exactly. Okay, we're keeping it short today. Chris and I went into this and we're like, "Hey, let's record a short episode." And then you said, "Like we always try to," and then we talked for an hour. So today, look at this. We're only at like the 30-ish minute mark, and we're actually going to wrap it up.
Wow. Yeah, that is a first in recent memory.
We didn't talk about WoW again. We could do that. You've kind of been away though. So you got your Steam Deck kind of play in. I'm happy you're home for a little bit. Maybe we'll talk about WoW a little bit because we did do some raiding.
Yeah, we can. Do you want to talk about it now
together.
Or later? Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't know that there's too much to talk about other than that I finally did a normal raid, like all the way through.
Yes.
And surprise, it was fun.
Who knew?
Who knew that I enjoyed that?
Good. Yeah, I did too.
I will say, I don't know who listens to this podcast, and I hope it doesn't get us in trouble, but I will say publicly, it was very hard not to step in and raid lead. Because there are just some things where you just want to make a decision and say, a decision is made, let's pull.
Yeah.
And, like, we both know how to do a lot of the things that like is required for raid leading. And I felt like we could have helped. But we were on a very casual run. It was very fun. I'm not saying there was anything wrong. I have said on the show before that like, I don't want to raid lead and I don't want to do that. And even though I was tanking, which is like a semi raid leading role, because, you have a lot of control over the pace of the fight and where things are and, when you start and how you pull and where the things are placed. And it took everything I had to say very little during the raid.
Yeah, that's always tough, especially when you don't know the group as well. And like, and you don't want to get kind of in that mode because it makes it not less fun, but it makes it just different for you.
Yeah, it changes the mood for sure.
Like, yeah. And so I get that. I respect that. I was just a lowly DPS, so I was just following, going with the flow. It's fine.
You knew more mechanics than I did, though, because that was honestly, it was my first experience on some of those bosses.
Okay. Yeah. I was my first on a couple of the end ones because I hadn't gotten that far, but the last boss of the raid, super fun, by the way. Like, very good.
Super cool.
Last boss of the raid.
Very good. Yeah. I'd watched Race to World First and seen a lot of the mechanics in Race to World First. So I understood, but I didn't realize how many of those mythic mechanics are in normal.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of Race to World First. I was gone. It was
great. It was
sad.
Great. 2 different bosses with over 400 pulls. Come on.
Oh my gosh. It was great. Wow. Okay. Huh.
Anyway, so that was the WoW segment, I guess. Rating.
I was gonna say if we're keeping this short, we gotta keep moving here.
We gotta go. I know. I already tried to wrap it up once. So if you I don't know, want to see pictures of the Stream Deck Plus, they'll be in the Discord. And other stuff. I don't know. You can get to it at discord.pnapodcast.com.
If you want to find our show notes or any of our older episodes, you can visit our website at pnapodcast.com. That's P, the letter N, the letter A, podcast.com.
If you're enjoying the show, we would love if you could share it with some others that might enjoy it as well.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
TikTok, Chris.
This is the last episode before the Factorio expansion comes out.
Yeah, I know. Are you taking time off of work? Because I've seriously considered it, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
No, I'm actually doing the exact opposite of taking time off work. I'm going on a business trip the freaking day that it comes out.
Cool. Good timing.
Yeah, perfect. I didn't block my work calendar because, that is a line that I tend not to cross, but I probably should have.
No, I got you.
So what's going to happen instead is I'm taking my personal laptop with me, I think, and I'm going to play Factorio on the plane.
Well, you had this problem with World of Warcraft, and I said, well, why don't you bring your laptop for World of Warcraft and you can play? And you thought about it, but World of Warcraft is hard because it's a social game, it's an MMO, it's online. Factorio has none of those problems.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I'm at this point. The question is whether I take the Steam Deck and try to play controller Factorio, which is doable but not easy, or if I just suck it up and take my whole laptop and play it that way.
I know what decision I would make.
Then I'm that guy carrying 2 laptops, and that's annoying. But
I always carry 2 laptops, so I guess I'm always that guy.
Yeah, fine, whatever. I actually don't mind it, other than the part where like sometimes it makes you, even when you're going through a TSA pre-check line, they make you take your laptops out. They've gotten better, but
I pull it out. I pull the second one out and put it on top of my bag.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. So
as
they're separated.
Long as they aren't super close to each other.
Huh.
Like if you put one in one pocket and one in like the front pocket of your bag, pro tip, they should be pretty cool about it.
Okay. I mean, I've actually had pretty good luck in like most of the US airports. It's sometimes the international ones that get tricky.
Sure. Well, I actually today muted the Factorio subreddit.
Oh, okay.
I want no more news from Factorio. So if it gets delayed, I won't know, but it's not going to get delayed.
I'll let you know.
And I'm trying to like stay away from the Factorio YouTube channels for now. I'm not super worried about spoilers per se, but I guess I'm interested in doing a pretty blind first experiment or first experience with the new expansion. And I'm not worried about like spoilers or how things work or whatever, but I'm just generally trying to stay away from the news about it.
I don't care, I think, at all about the spoilerness of it, because I don't think that knowing what's out there, it will change my experience, because for me, the fun of Factorio is the puzzle of the like making the factory, not really the like, oh, did you know that the tech tree has 97 levels in it? But I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much.
I haven't been able to experience something new with Factorio that's not a mod in forever since it came out, right?
Fair.
So again, I'm not like, it's not super important to me, but like I want to be kind of surprised and not, because I am so good in WoW, like being like, no, I need to study the dungeon first. I need to know how everything works, and not necessarily like plan my factory blueprint and like have blueprints, but like understanding the ingredients of something and how something leads to something else, and like just like knowing the flow of like materials a little bit, especially when there's new stuff. Like I can really dig into that really deep, so I'm trying not to ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to seek it out, but I'm also I'm not going to avoid it. Like I'll read the Friday facts this Friday, and like it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll probably do that too.
They probably won't say much.
It's an official release. Yeah.
They're usually pretty nice about the spoilers. Like they're not like spoiling things.
I have been reading the Friday Factorio facts. Like that's not too much, but like I could see myself watching a playthrough or a let's play of it if it came out prior to release. If I wasn't careful, if I wasn't like, like Jason, you're going to watch that and you're going to get ideas and you're going to start planning in your head. Like, just wait, just do it yourself.
Well, we have to get through this phase, because then once you have had adequate time to, at least I think once we've had adequate time to get started in a base in Space Age, then we can start talking about a co-op run.
Absolutely. I'm all in.
My plan's not to finish a whole entire run by myself before playing a co-op. I don't know what your thought is, but maybe we should level set a little bit.
I think it'll be a game time decision for me if I want to finish. I didn't finish base Factorio for a very long time. Like, I don't know. Maybe I did it once solo many years after it came out. So I don't know. I don't know. There's going to be a point at which I would say, hey, I'm ready for a co-op. I don't know whether that point's going to be prior to or after actually finishing and winning a single player game.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think once I get to a second or maybe third planet, I'll be like, okay, I get the gist. I want to do the co-op now. That's what I predict.
I will probably be pretty far ahead of you, though, if I had to guess.
Oh, you'll be done.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm taking that week off of WoW.
Yes. Well, I'll be gone, so yeah.
What's the date? October 21st, right? It's a Monday.
October 21st. 2 weeks from the day we're recording.
The Monday, yeah.
It's
Weird
a Monday.
Day, but yeah. I wish it was a Friday, because then I would not sleep for an entire weekend.
I mean, you still have that weekend to not sleep. It's available.
Yeah, but it's the week. I mean, I've got to wait a whole week until I can, no life Factorio.
I guess.
My dog's going to be begging for water and food.
You could just think of Monday through Thursday as like, prep days. Like you could just, a little bit here, a little bit there, 6 hours a night there. And then you go full no life on the weekend.
That's a good idea. Taking Friday off. I see you just suggested to take Friday off, work Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going with that. You missed the 6 hours a night of Factorio.
Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
I am also looking forward to it.
We're going to have to record before that, right? What? Mm-hmm. Now we're scheduling live on the air here.
Yep.
We're going to have to record prior to that the expansion coming out.
Yes.
And then you're going to make me record while well, I guess I'll have 2 weeks to kind of calm down.
Yeah. No, we're going to, we'll record, but just before Factorio comes out, after all of the press is out for it though. So like, I guess there's some decisions to be made there, but, then the episode will post after the expansion comes out, but we won't have played it yet. And then the following episode is probably going to be the Factorio episode.
Okay. All right. Well, mark your calendars now. PNA 139,
yep.
Which comes out the
November 7th.
Factorio episode.